It all has to be additionally purchased on top of what we already have, which we are talking tens of thousands.
While it may be daunting, shops are preparing for the sizable shift ahead, determined to continue down the road of repairs, even if that road may be a rocky one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I have been involved in the automotive industry for over 25 years, and one of my best practices is to stay ahead of the curve. In other words, if you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail. No, as an automotive consultant, I duly understand the evolving landscape of the automotive industry and the implications it holds for local mechanics and garage shops. We're going to break down 3 compelling arguments for why shops should prepare for the phase out of gas vehicles and why it is important for mechanics to stay ahead of the game. Well, for those who choose to remain in the profession, that is. But before I dive into this video feature from CTV News here in Canada, please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Let's get into this feature.
It may be more than a decade away, but Canada's automotive industry is preparing for the federal government's move to phase out the sale of gas vehicles. And with more electric models set to hit the streets, auto repair shops are trying to stay ahead of the curve. CTV Spencer Turcott explains.
We go down the line, here's another BMW.
As the name suggests, it's no surprise to see several German vehicles being serviced at German Autotech in Waterloo.
Car costs, as they are now, are ramping up hugely.
They specialize in gas and diesel-powered vehicles, so the federal government's plans to phase out gas vehicles by 2035 puts a bit of a wrench in how they operate.
There is a concern there, yeah.
Mike Hedmanet says his team of mechanics are anticipating an eventual dip in popular services.
Certainly there's going to be less of the fluid changes, let's say oils. Right? So certainly you're not going to have your annual oil change anymore.
Although repairs will still very much be a part of the business.
It's going to be an industry where we're still going to have a lot of wear and tear components. You know, electric cars are going to be placed on heavier weigh scales.
But as an independent shop, Mike says he'll be a few years behind dealerships or corporate affiliates when it comes to the latest electric vehicle training and equipment.
Let me pause right there because I'm going to go into the first benefit, and it's that EVs generally have fewer moving parts, as he mentioned, and they require less frequent maintenance compared to traditional gas vehicles, as he mentioned. And this could result in a more predictable revenue stream for mechanics as they transition from the sometimes unpredictable nature of combustion engine repairs to the more consistent demand for EV servicing. One can argue that over the years, ICE vehicles became predictable as dealerships and shops could tell you exactly how periodic maintenance and design repair schedules for most brands and models, and they had 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 and even 100,000 kilometer service designed to keep them up and running. The disadvantage is that the initial investment cost for training and specialized equipment may pose a financial burden for smaller garage and shops. However, this investment could ultimately pay off in the long run as EV adoption rates continue to rise. Let's continue.
Some of the state-of-the-art alignment equipment.
Up the road at Columbia Auto Service, it's pedal to the metal preparing for the EV wave. They operate under the National Auto Parts Association umbrella, which has given them a head start.
So we have sent a technician that has been gone for the last 2 months and is currently away now for specialized electrical vehicle and hybrid training.
Safety is something that's top of mind as more EVs come into the shop.
Distance around that vehicle, and in the case of things arcing, jumping, current flow.
They'll also have to update their tool belts, both figuratively and literally.
We will be having to purchase extended software, plug-in abilities. Electrical testing equipment is just going to be next level.
Let me just cut in right there because many governments around the world are implementing regulations to phase out gas vehicles in favor of electric alternatives. Well, Western ideology, because only about 19 countries have signed on for this net zero thing. But by preparing for this inevitable shift here in the West, mechanics and garage shops can stay ahead of the curve and align themselves with the regulatory requirements. The other benefit is that governments oftentimes offer incentives, subsidies, and grants to businesses that support the transition to electric vehicles. And by demonstrating their commitment to sustainability and eco-friendly practices, that's the new ideology they keep talking about, environmental friendly and eco-friendly practices. Mechanics can access these incentives and attract environmentally conscious customers. They're big on saving the planet. The disadvantage is adapting to new regulations and compliance standards may require additional resources and administrative efforts. They're going to have to do a lot more research how to access these grants and put in place a lot more of the ISO standards. So therefore, the shops may need to proactively address these challenges, and it can help mechanics maintain a competitive edge in a rapidly changing market. The market is moving so much faster. Let's wrap up this video.
It all has to be additionally purchased on top of what we already have, which we are talking tens of thousands.
While it may be daunting, shops are preparing for the sizable shift ahead, determined to continue down the road of repairs, even if that road may be a rocky one. Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Waterloo.
Now, consumer demand for EVs is on the rise, driven by factors such as environmental awareness, fuel cost savings, and advancement in technological requirements. Consumer demand for EVs is on the rise, driven by factors such as environmental awareness, fuel cost savings, and technological advancements, and of course, the forced government mandate. Mechanics and garage shops that cater to this growing demand can tap into a lucrative market segment and attract a new customer base. It will be a niche market starting out, as EVs make up less than 10% of the total population of cars on our roads currently. The final benefit I have here is that providing EV maintenance and repair services can enhance customer service, customer satisfaction, and loyalty. And this is paramount in customer service, as I can't emphasize enough about customer retention, as this boosts one throughput and the turnover in your shops. But that's another story. Offering comprehensive solutions for both traditional and electric vehicles, mechanics will position themselves as trusted advisors and the go-to service providers for all automotive needs. The big disadvantage is that some customers still remain hesitant to transition to electric vehicles due to concerns about range, charging infrastructure, and the upfront cost to buy one. $45,000 average for a brand new EV, that's no easy feat. Mechanics are the ones who may need to step in to advise customers on the best choices for purchase to address some misconceptions and encourage adoption later on. Now, as I wrap this up, local mechanics and garage shops stand to benefit from preparing for the phase out of gas vehicles by embracing the shift towards electric alternatives, aligning with government regulations and incentives, and catering to the changing consumer preferences. No doubt there may be initial challenges and investments that are required. The long-term rewards include expanded service offerings, increased customer loyalty, and a sustainable future for the automotive industry, which is always and consistently evolving. And with the government interference, once again, the cycle will never end. This quote is one of my favorite, and it says, "There is no worse tyranny than to force a man to pay for what he does not want, merely because you think it will be good for him." Robert A. Heinlein. As usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.